Greetings everybody, I am Jay and today I want to talk to you about the upcoming Cyclone nerfs in 3.8 Blight League. So Cyclone was really overused in Legion, just like Winter Orb, but is it going to have the same nerfs as Winter Orb had? We are going to have a look at 3 different builds and what the nerfs actually mean for this skill. So here we are right now. You can see a lot of numbers, a lot of stuff. I did a lot of calculations. I prepared like 3 different builds for 3 different investment ranges. So there's one build for low investment, one build for mid investment, one build for high investment. First, I want to talk about what are the actual like changes to Cyclone. Okay, so let's take a look at the current state of the Cyclone during Legion League. So we have this small line down here, which is the most important thing that got changed. Modifiers to melee attack range also apply to this skill's area radius. That actually meant we get +2 radius or +2 weapon range. We get also +2 radius as a base value. We're going to talk about this a lot and a little bit about the damage, but the damage part is not really that big, but we are going to talk nonetheless. This is the new skill gem. So instead of 1 additional radius, we only get 8% increased area of effect. But some people might be like, hey, dude, 8% area of effect, isn't that more than 1 melee range? Let's have a look. So your character has a size of 2, so we always have like 2 as a base range. Now plus 11, because Cyclone will always be 11 radius now, plus 6 from 6 stages, so we are looking at 19 radius without any like modifiers on there. So how much is 8%? 8% is more than 1.5 radius. So this is a buff, right? Wrong. That's just wrong. But why is that wrong? Easy. That's like maths class, I don't know, like grade 6, grade 7. The radius is not equal the area of effect. Like if you increase the radius of a circle by 8%, it's not the same as if you would just increase the area of the circle by 8%. So there's a slight misconception there. The thing is, let us take a look again. The line says 8% increased area of effect per 1 additional melee range. So 8% increased, what does it actually mean? Increased means all increases from your gems, from your jewels, from your gear, from the passive tree, everything where it says increased area of effect or increased area of melee skills or whatever, it's all going into the same pool as long as it says increased. So that means the more increases you have, this is like some base PoE math stuff like here. The more increases you have, the less you get out of each. So it has diminishing returns. What they did is they put the area instead of like, or the range, instead of directly inflicting the base area of the skill, it now is changed to be an increase. So for our low investment build, we have like 4 area from our Ascendancy as a Slayer, for 2 more from some passive things. These are now being changed to be 30% increased, and these increases go into the same like increased pool with like increased area of effect or Cyclone quality, the Impact Slayer Ascendancy where I get 50 and 10 radius and stuff like that. So all these increases go into the same pool. And this actually leads for our low investment build. We just have 2 Unsmite, you know, and 2020 Cyclone. So this is a starter build. The weapons cost like 20 chaos each, and the rest is no investment because it's only it's only passives, you know. So we are already looking at a 11 to 12% radius decrease. That's not much. That's okay. So early on into the league, you will pretty much not feel any difference because you're lacking everything else anyways. You're lacking damage, you're lacking movement speed. So area is not the biggest problem in the beginning of the build, but big but right here. If we are going to invest a lot more into this build, which is like my mid investment, we are looking at a foil with 14 base range in Legion. So left side is always Legion, right side is always Blight. And we're looking at a level 21 Cyclone, so we get +1 stage, +1 radius. We have the same passives. We pick up more passives, more more items, and we are also going to pick up more increases from like a Carcass Jack, or we are now socket in an increased area of effect support, because our new weapon does way more damage than the Ahn's Might, so we can go more for utility, right? Good idea. That's how you should approach pretty much every single build. If you have enough damage, go for more utility. If you have too much utility but you deal 0 damage, change these things around. So for this build in Legion, we are looking at 63 radius, which is pretty damn good. So you're just running around, clearing 75% of the screen. Your Cyclone will barely not touch the top area of the screen if you're like fully buffed, but that's fine. You have enough damage, you have good range, you probably have enough movement speed. This is pretty much the perfect like league starting build after you, I don't know, invested like 10 Exalted into some weapons. What happens if we do the same in Blight League? I think the red numbers say it all. You're losing about 27% range. So this is just the radius. So radius of the circle is like from the center to the the shortest connection from the center to the edge of the circle. So we're losing about 27% of this. This might sound really much, but it actually is not as much as you might think, because 46 range, you're still going to struggle to kill like big enemies, like I don't know, on tier 16, like beyond bosses. You're still going to not one-shot them, so you're still going to sometimes take your time and like make a circle around an enemy, or like, you know, you do not one-shot them just by strolling by. So this is still fine. This is still not that big of a nerf. 27% sounds a lot, and you will definitely feel it, you will definitely see it, but it's not as big as if you invest heavily into area. This is my number 3 build, and this is actually most of the items or like the ideas from range and stuff I took from the carry build from Legion League. I made a few changes so we get nearly all of the range modifiers we can get. Not all of them. There are still some crafts on rare helmets, for example. You can get Shaper or Elder bases with increased area effect. But we are talking about a foil with +3 essence crafted weapon range and a prismatic eclipse with 3 white sockets, for a total of normally 40 radius base range in Legion. If we take the same items, we are still at 20 base range. So all of the range modifiers that we get from our passives, that we get from the prismatic eclipse, that we get from the foil, because base range of Cyclone is always 11 in Blight, all of these things will go into our new like range calculations. And so I am not sure if or how the interaction between the crafted +3 range is, but in this example I'm assuming it's just getting deleted, just like the base range of your weapon. So in this example it's just because there hasn't been any like confirmation how this works, but I'm assuming that you're pretty much going to lose the +3 essence craft and the and the like 14 plus range from the weapon. It just goes down to 11. That's the base now. So all of these range buffs now go into increases. And as we said, increase. The more increase you have, the better or the worse they get. So right now we are looking at 41% loss. So we are investing a lot, like heavily. We are losing a lot of damage and investing into area, and we get. So if you look at these two, we go from 46 to 50 area radius. So everything I want to say here is actually do not invest that much in area anymore. It's just not worth it. So instead, go for a mid-range build and put the money that you would have put into area, put that into movement speed, put that into pure damage. So you one-shot everything and you're fast. You can get to pretty much this, definitely not the same speed, but you can get to pretty much the same speed on tier 16 maps, because tier 16 is a joke for every single build out there in game. So for map clearing, not that big of a deal. For boss killing, neither, because for boss killing you usually don't need a lot of range. You just want to stay at the edge of the enemy. If it's a melee based enemy, if it's a ranged enemy, you don't really care where you're standing, but you know what I mean. Do not invest heavily into into range anymore. Just don't. Just don't. Trust me. Just don't. You are losing at least 40% of your range, and that's not worth putting down like 50% of your damage. Because with this build, I played both these builds. I played like a mid-range, pretty much damage focused, utility focused build, and then I played the carry build, which is pretty much only area of effect. And with this build, you're dealing way more than enough damage to one-shot everything on tier 16. So do not invest more into range than this one. You will still have less range, but full investment into range is not worth it anymore. Your range is pretty much cut in half. It's just, don't do it. But what about damage? I've been talking about the range now, but what about cyclone damage in 3.8? Because as I said, they are halving the level 20 base physical damage. Like, I mean, the physical added damage that the skill itself grants itself. You know what I mean. We've been talking about that in the beginning. But since there are like 20 billion builds out there with 250 million different skill trees and stuff like that, the TLDR is there are too many variables and different builds out there, so you can't really calculate. You can calculate it for every single build, but overall, in general, you can say that you're going to lose about 15 to 20% damage. So if you're not heavily investing into the build, you're actually losing more damage, but the more you invest, the less the damage nerf actually gets. So it's kind of the other way around. Before you wanted to invest heavily into area and Legion, and now you want to invest more into damage. So maybe you should just do that if you want to play Cyclone. I'm definitely going to play a Cyclone build. I'm not sure which one I'm going to play. For cast and crit builds, this nerf is like pretty much non-existent, and it actually opens up to play a different weapon type than foils, because it's always going to be the 11 base range. So yeah. Another thing that I wanted to say is, if you're having a level 20 Cyclone in Blight League, its damage roughly is equal to an 11 to an 11 or level 12 Cyclone right now in Legion League. So that sounds a lot, but since these normal physical skills pretty much purely scale off of your weapon damage, it's not a big loss if you invest into high damage weapons. But I talked way too much. This video is like way too long right now, but I hope you enjoyed it. I had really much fun like calculating all the stuff. I like these maths in the games, so If you want to know more about what I've done here, or if you want to know more about some certain mechanics in the game, or literally anything, especially math related in PoE, just let me know in the comments down below. Follow my Twitch at twitch.tv/playerlikej. I'm going to play for Blight League. Not sure what I'm going to play. Not enough information on the new league yet. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I want to thank you for watching, and also I want to thank you for learning with me, because I am always learning a lot making these videos, and I am trying to teach you guys what I learned. So let's learn together, give me some ideas, and see you in the next one.